All right, everybody, welcome back. Nearly finished with the 34, and obviously at the end of this video it will be finished. There was a key element to weathering a model kit that, you know, if you don't do this, and that's the tires. If you don't wear your tires, they're nice and shiny and brand new. And to build a kit and weather it and leave the tires that way would be a shame. So I like to take mine and grind them down and get them worn out, because these old trucks would wear a tire out, and they're just old bias ply tires, probably wouldn't wear evenly. But anyway, you need to wear the tires. You need to make them look like they've been used. And by the way, I went ahead and used a sleeper. I believe it says 390 on the valve cover, but I went ahead and put the sleeper 3 barrel V8 in it instead of using the old flathead. But I tell you, guys, these AMT kits that Round 2 is putting out, they're lacking. I guess would be my honest assumption. They're just lacking. Reason being is, I mean, if you choose, so this thing comes with a V8, right? Regardless if you're using the flathead or the hot rod engine here, it comes with a V8. Well, a V8 has 2 manifolds, which needs a, you know, the exhaust needs to be able to match that. They don't send you a crossover. They send you this. That's what's in this kit. If it was a 4-cylinder, like an old Model A, that'd be fine. But because it has 2 exhaust manifolds, you have no crossover. So luckily, these things don't really run, and it's going to sit on a shelf. It's not going to be in a model show turned over and everything. So I'm not really worried about exhaust. You're not going to see it, but these things just, I don't know. What is it? They forgot to put some parts in the box. I mean, MPC, yeah, but this is an AMT kit. And this darn engine is, I don't really think, ever designed to even fit in here, because I had to do a lot of firewall trimming to get that engine to go in. Anyway, enough complaining. I was going to show you guys, I take these and I actually do a little bench grinder that I have. You can sand them, but I like to get them like worn down, so I'll use my bench grinder. I'll set up the camera by the bench grinder. My daughter's outside on the riding lawnmower mowing the grass, so you will hear her in the background, but I'll set up the tripod and do a couple of these on my wire wheel. And once I've done them on the wire wheel and the grinder, then I come back in with my sandpaper and put them on the drill. The drill, I have one of my old sockets. I don't know what size it is. And I'll get a socket. This is not original to me, but just get a socket that you can fit the tire on kind of snug. And just like that. Spin her up. But alright, so I'm going to pause the video here, and I'm going to set up out at my bench grinder in my other portion of my shop, and we'll grind some tires. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, so just a little Harbor Freight bench grinder. It's not even mounted, but what I'll do is I'm going to turn it on. You might not can hear me very well, so I won't do much talking. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going to run it on my wire wheel that roughs it up. I'm going to run it on the rock just till I think it looks, you know, worn out. So here we go. You don't want to do too much, because you don't want to completely ruin it. We're just looking for worn out. That's what we're looking for. Okay, you can already start to see Well, you may not be able to start to see, but it's starting to look really, really rough. Don't want to go too far. You can always smooth it back off with your sandpaper. Okay, so this is that did the sidewall good. Now I'm going to take and just try to wear the tread out now, lightly, and it's going to ball it up and chew it up, and it's going to look terrible. But once you sand it, it's going to look better. So I want to really round that tread. Alright, see, this thing looks like it's been through a darn, I don't know what. Alright, so, alright, pause it. I'm going to go inside. We're going to sand it. Okay. So a little piece of sandpaper. I don't know what sand grit this is. Tire looks horrible. Looks like it's practically melted down. That's okay. So I'm just going to floorboard my drill and start sanding. Looking better. Still got some bad spots here. This sandpaper is worthless. Here we go. Here's a little nail file. Oh yeah. All right, check that. That looks, I don't know if you can see that or not. Of course not. But that looks nice. Let's put it on one of the wheels. I tried to simulate rust in the wheels. Like the spokes are rusty, you know, because these old trucks, they would rust. The wheels would rust. Alright, so there we go. Compared to the new one, compared to the old one, and you really, to be honest with you, the camera just doesn't do justice. Here, let me plug this other light in. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Light always helps. Okay. Oh, where am I at? Here we go. Alright, so there's the tread. And just gives it that nice, worn out, rusty crusty, as one of the guys, one of you guys commented on the previous video. Just makes it look better, in my personal opinion. Put that on there, get it all dusted up. Got some worn out tires. Anyway, okay. Well, that's how I do my tires. So, give me a few minutes and we'll have a completed model. Oh, no, I'm sorry, we'll not have a completed model, because when I get this thing together, that I said on the previous model, I'm going to take and I'm going to dust it up. I'm going to take that grout powder that I have, and I'm going to dust it up, and I'm also going to take my modeling makeup, I guess what I would call it, and I'm going to blend these sanded places. So that's our next step. Once we get it together, then I'm going to take it and I'm going to give you a tutorial. Oh, by the way, me building a model kit is like a work in progress. The next time I do this, it might be different. That's how you do it. As from where I've seen, guys just figure it out on their own. They just do this stuff. The model community, you guys leave comments. Hey, how do you do this? Hey, I do it this way, whatever. But anyway, it's a work in progress. So I'm doing this like I want to do it. I've not had anybody tell me that's the wrong way, but I don't know if it's the right way either. Or is there a right way? Or is there a wrong way? I don't know. I think, like I say, it's a work in progress. The bed, I'm still going to do some weathering in that wood area. But anyway, this video, this kit's going to be complete. And it's going to be looking sweet, crusty, rusty, and old. So anyways, give me a few more minutes and we'll be at it. Okay, so I'm almost completed with the truck. And as I said, I was going to show how at least I do my blending with my rust colored makeup. So again, this is just makeup from, I believe I got it from Dollar General. Just medium to deep. It's greasy makeup, so which that works good because it once you spread it on, you can kind of wipe it off, and it's so it does pretty good. So I'm using this darkest one. If you're not careful, you'll just dig right into it. So just get some on the little applicator, and you just this back fender, I'm just gonna go over, just rub it on the back fender here, and we'll wipe this off. Try to get it down in the creases a little. All you want to do is somewhat blend those nasty sand marks that are in it. Take your paper towel now, without tearing something off, and just wipe it. Not hard. You want to leave some of it, but you don't want it to all stay on. So if you got a hard place, get you a toothpick, wrap it with the it's going to add a little color. It's going to give that a little more of an illusion of rust and worn paint wherever you think it may need to be. Rub it on. And just lightly rub it off. So you're going to leave some. You know, you don't want it to look like you just rubbed a bunch of makeup on it. I've already done the roof a little. I'll do a little more just on these edges and things like that. Get it in there, so then when you wipe it off, the edge is going to hold that color. And guys, I suggest that you go to the dollar store to get the makeup, and don't get it from your wife or your daughter's makeup cabinet, just to make things a little easier. So that's what I do. Right on the edge, down in that crease of the fender. Get a little color in there. Any white spots you may have where you may have gone too far like me, you have to go over several times. So like Mr. Miyagi told Daniel's son, you wax on and you wax off. You know, I said that to a person recently. I'm 43, and I said that to a person recently, and he looked at me. He was wiping something at a store, And he looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, I said, wax on, wax off. He looked at me with this crazy look. I said, how old are you? He said, 30. I said, oh, okay. I understand why you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, some of the old sayings that we would use are not able to use them anymore unless you're using them around your peers, because they don't know what wax on, wax off means. They're like, what are you talking about, dude? So my camera shut off. Anyway, here we go again. Just a little color where it may be needed in those grooves. Blend it in. Wipe off the residue. And so on and so forth. Alright, so I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to get out the dust that I said I was going to dust it up with, and we'll do a little dusting. Be back in a minute. Alright, so got the makeup and whatnot put on it. Now I'm going to dust it up with the grout. I've got this is brand new. Beauty Accents. Wow. I think it was $1 from Dollar General. I'm just going to take this. I got a bag of grout here. The color is mocha. It just happens to be some that was left over from when I worked on my house. I'm just going to dip it down in there, swirl it around, get it dusty. Now most of this you can get off, so we're just going to, the running boards and the fenders and such, we're going to dust them up. So we're just causing it to be dusty. Back of the truck, we want it nice and dusted up, and all you take is just a swift blow on this thing and you'll clean most of it back out, but where you put it, it kind of sticks. So we're going to just dust it up in the places we want it, where we think it ought to be dusty. And okay, you can see there's a lot more under the door. You can get another brush, or you can just keep brushing with this one, and it will just even out and look nice and dirty. And for the other side. And I can imagine a bag of grout would last, I don't know, 100 years. Because, I mean, literally you're just using. So hopefully you have some grout left over from home project or something like that, where you wouldn't have to go buy, which I think this bag was probably about 12 bucks, but you wouldn't want to have to buy a whole bag. Alright guys, here it is. Sorry my camera cut off. I had some storage issues midstream of me dusting it up. But anyway, excited. Here it is. It turned out great. Got it rusty and weathered and just looking old. I think it turned out really good. Old model kit, you know, probably from the 60s, that's been retooled, or not retooled, I'm sorry, re-released by Round 2. And you know, earlier I criticized these Round 2 kits, but I was watching a video by Lucas C. And he mentioned, why is everyone complaining about these about Round 2 kits? He's like, you know, at least they're putting these kits out, that the brands that would have died and gone, you know, never to come back, AMT, MPC, I mean, all of them, they bought all those old brands up, and they've, you know, they continue to give us kits, although there may be a, you know, sometimes a hassle, like the exhaust on this one and other little things. You know what? At least you have something to do. I left Luke a comment, and I said, you know, I complain so much about these guys and the poor quality of the kits, but yet then when I go look for one at Hobby Lobby, I'm always afraid they're going to quit carrying them. So it's like, you know, biting the hand that feeds you, so to speak. You know, I love to build kits and love to buy them and have them in a collection, but yet complain about the guys who are putting them out. So, you know, enough of that. I appreciate what Round 2 does. Hey, these kits, that's what I built when I was a kid. AMT, Monogram, Revell, all these kits. And they're still around thanks to them. So, hey. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you a quick, sorry for blabbing. Anyway, so we got it weathered up, got the interior. I tried to simulate some old worn out fabric on the seat, which came out fairly good, as you can see. Gave the wheels a rusty appearance, the spokes, you know, rusted everything that I could without just going overboard. Some people, you know, you can go overboard with rust and just like rust everything. I just want it like it was just a beat up old truck, you know, something like off the Waltons or something like that. And I accomplished that, and I'm proud of it. So it looks good to me. The engine, again, you've already seen in the video, but it's the sleeper, you know, sleeper 34. So it's got the 390. And I put plug wires on it. Just kind of did a messy plug wire job on purpose, just to, you know, this guy's just got an old truck, and he had an old Thunderbird that he took the engine out of and stuck it in here, and just got the old plug wires just thrown in. So I did that on purpose. Wore the tires out. As you can see, that's a pretty worn out tire. And I went around and did all the tires. As I showed you as on my grinder, but the kit turned out good. Had some fit issues with the engine, the valve cover hitting the firewall, no problem. You know, trim it up. All in all, it's turned out really nice. It's going to look good on the shelf, and as always, I'll have pictures at the end, some close-ups of it. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it so much. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we will see you on the next one. You guys take care. Bye.